You're right that trust is absolutely key in the process. You know, we live up to the principle of the trust itself. But it's one thing that we are currently trying to monitor, you know, by being able to, you know, to get reports, you know, coming from the customer. On the blockchain side, it's something which can be interesting in building the trust of a transaction. Nevertheless, blockchain is having a cost, you know, and when we try to measure, because we are trying to use blockchain, you know, for small energy transaction, you know, like you have some solar panel on your roof and you can provide to your neighbor instead of, you know, bringing that to the grid and so on. But we're talking about hundreds of watts or, you know, some kilowatts, and we were currently questioning ourselves on what is the energy cost of a blockchain transaction. And currently we ended up with the fact that the blockchain transaction is costing 2.6 kilowatt per hour. So it already have a cost. So is it worth the price? Yes or no? You know, that's a real question. We ended up with the fact that, okay, if we have a 1 kilowatt per hour transaction between I have some solar panel on my roof and I give that to my neighbor. So net zero, you lost 1.6 kilowatt per hour. So not very interesting. So maybe this is not the right technology in order to do that. Blockchain can be interesting, you know, when you build and when you're at the beginning of building a trusted transaction. So it's really transactional business. But here, when we are talking about ESG, we are talking about a long period of trust that you need to create. I think, you know, it's not the point-to-point stuff. It's really bringing on a long-term view where blockchain can be used at the beginning, but most of the time, you know, at some point in time, even if it has been an enabler, you are going to avoid it because of the energy cost also linked to the blockchain transactions. Right. You know, we need to work on the low power and look at the overall, you know, like we were talking about the value scopes. We have to look at the whole scope of what this technology is currently bringing. And if you look at the power consumption, you know, brought by IT technology, more or less it's in the range of 3.2% of the overall, you know, CO2 emission across the planet. When you look at the time that you are currently spending using digital technology, you know, it's a pretty low footprint. But even if it's low, you know, it's currently, it needs to improve and it still has an impact.